Hello! The Lansky movie is another attempt to make a great crime film about the mafia, undertaken when the era of mafia films has already ended. It has a lot in common with the film Capone 2020. In both of them, famous mafiosi are shown as old, helpless and no longer scary peasants, although Lansky is still in the better shape and in his right mind. Lansky and Capone cannot be satisfied with the outcome of their lives. They completely lost them and no longer need their big money. Villainies lie like a stone on the soul. Old age, illness and weakness have crept up unnoticed. To this too can also be added the Irishman film, 2019. It has a similar main character. But let's back to Lansky. The worthy of attention story about Mayer is constantly interrupted by the pitiful attempts of the writer to make peace with his wife, though he isn't guilty in the quarrel. His phone's conversations with her make us feel uncomfortable and even shame. A man shouldn't behave like that. The writer is a clear weakling and a women's slave. He messes up time after time. A suspicious creature in a swimming suit from the hotel pool hangs on him and he can't figure out that it's not without reason. A woman has obviously sent to him. She looks like a spy of bandits or FBI, but he doesn't suspect anything until the last moment. And the writer isn't a boy anymore, he should understand people at least a little. But okay, let's go back to the famous mafia. In general, it is surprising that these dilapidated criminal marginal do not try to become a human, even standing with one foot in a grave. That's the Irishman, that's Capone, and that's Lansky. What could be easier? Repent, guys, for your filthy criminal life, for all the evil you have brought into the world. Ask everyone for forgiveness, and you will feel better. But no, they stand their ground to the death. Is it misunderstanding or dementia? It is more like the second. Having hired a writer to work on his own biography, Mayer Lansky wants to rise his importance with the help of a book. Of course, everyone knows about Capone and only a small group of specialists, in quotation marks, know about him. But vanity at this age already looks ridiculous. It should have died in him 30 years ago at least. And they are all like this. Invited in 1962 from Italy, the old mafia Lucky Luciano, a friend of Lansky, got so excited on the shooting of a documentary about gangsters and him that had a heart attack during a meeting with the director and died on the way to a hospital. Probably it would be better for them to become movie actors from the very beginning if they love fame so much. In fact, Lansky film is a melodrama. Violence is present only in retrospects, and the rest of the film is filled with reasoning about blows of fate that Mayer suffered like a disabled son and the inability to work for a penny like his father. And the old gangster doesn't understand that it's not about pennies. His father lived his life with dignity of an honest man, without hurting anyone, and no one was ashamed of him, as they now are ashamed of Mayer Lansky himself. Do you need to want this movie? Not necessarily, but it wouldn't hurt for the peasant's overall development. There will be no disappointment. There is no wish to imitate the bandit, no sympathy for him or a wish to admire him either. The dregs of society are the dregs, and you can't make a candy out of them. The message of the film is that even the toughest guys at the end of their life come to the same things as everyone else. The value of money diminishes and the value of family ties increases. The ties begin to dominate, but if you personally not warmed anyone, then no one will comfort you either. That's the difference. I would say that marginal have harder time, because they don't have an honest name, and their conscience is black, and no one respects them. In the case of Lansky, everything is even worse. The ex-wife whom he treated with electric shocks through the head hates him, and the disabled son lays unconscious in a clinic. Although Mayer Lansky tries to pretend that he doesn't regret anything, but this isn't true. His actions indicates the opposite. Writer's reaction is important to him, whether he will condemn him for the life he was lived or not. It turns out that he has no one with whom he could have a heart-to-heart conversation, and the writer, as an employee, isn't a suitable person for this role because he isn't free, and he cannot tell him the truth to his face. He is able only to hint slightly. In the sense of drama, if you put the Irishman, Capone and Lansky in a row, then the Irishman will be the first place. Its conflict is better. Lansky is in the second place, and Capone is in the third. Its main character is too disgusting for us. What Lansky and Capone have in common is that no one ever found their money after death. In general, all these films carry an idea that crimes do not pay off if you consider them at a distance of a lifetime. Lansky has understood this at last and began to respect his father, whom he had previously despised. He also believed that God had punished him for his crimes by his disabled son. When he brings the writer to the hospital where his aged son is lying, he wants to show by this that money is nothing compared to his parental grief. Summing up, we can formulate that this is a drama about a stormy but useless life. A person who has put himself above everyone else and is waging a war against the society cannot win, even if at times he gets intermediate victories. The end result will always be not in his favor. If you liked this video, please put like, subscribe the channel and write comments. See you later. Bye bye.